beginning of the homeschool year, I made a video and I explained all the amazing things I was going to do with my 6th grader for this upcoming homeschool year. So, you want to know how we really did? Hey guys, it's Vani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling journey. I've been homeschooling since 2012. So at the beginning of the homeschool year, I made this wonderful video and I had all these beautiful plans on all the fantastic things I was gonna do with my 6th grader to find his interest, to help him become more of an independent learner, to prepare him for those junior high and high school years. And gotta keep it real, guys, we did not stick to the plan hardly at all. Today we're gonna go subject by subject. I'm gonna share with you guys what we originally were supposed to use and share with you guys if we are still using it, why we are not, if we aren't. So first I gotta say, I think what happened, I was looking back and kind of reflecting, and I know if you guys have seen a lot of my other videos, you saw me kind of struggling at the beginning of this homeschool year to get a rhythm going, and we finally got it down, but it's like the end of the school year. But we were sick a lot. This year, there was always someone that was sick in the beginning of the school year. And then we were adjusting to our new home. I didn't have like all this furniture in this room in our homeschool area. I didn't have a homeschool area. All of our books and things were spread between the family room and our laundry room shelving. So I have to say, getting the furniture and the bookshelves in one place and getting all of our school stuff together has really made a huge difference for us. If you stay to the end of the video, I'm going to share with you what I learned this year and how to help you guys stay on track for the upcoming homeschool year with all your wonderful goals and plans. So we started off this homeschool year with the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 6. And we continue doing the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 6. About 2 weeks ago, I tested my son with the Good and the Beautiful's testing, and he actually tested into Level 7. And when I emailed the Good and the Beautiful company, they told me that was high school level. So his reading was in high school level. In the Good and the Beautiful testing, they only test for reading. So instead of making him do all of the Level 6, we're skipping a lot of the reading portion and a lot of the spelling. We're skipping all of that. We are using their main spelling list to get all the words that he didn't know. There was about 10 out of the entire list that he needed help on, so we memorized those. Other than that, he knows all his homophones for the entire unit, and so we're just doing the grammar portions. We're skipping the reading portions and the spelling portions, and we're just doing the little chunks of grammar inside the Good and the Beautiful. So what we added was IEW American History, the style and structure American History. So we're going to be focusing a lot on having him write, because the Good and the Beautiful didn't have a lot of writing, and when they did have a writing assignment, it wasn't structured enough for him. He needed to be told, what exactly do I write and how do I write it? So IEW is great for that because it gives him that structure that he needs. So we also have a good friend of ours who is an English teacher, and so we have been paying her for every paper, and she has been editing them for us from a professional standpoint and giving him some encouragement on his work, some feedback, and then where to make correction. So I think that's pretty awesome to have someone other than mom to edit his papers, and he really enjoys getting that feedback from her too. For read out louds, I had this whole selection. I honestly don't even know what was in that selection, but whatever it was, we did not follow it. We started out with Farmer Boy because that was like, we were doing the Peaceful Press history, and then we were just going to use their read out louds as our read out loud. But then the book was due at the library, and then the holidays came, then we got sick, and like we missed so much time. When I got the book back, we had already changed what we were doing for history, and we started reading the Chronicles of Narnia. So we are on book 2, The Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, after reading The Magician's Nephew, and we are really, really enjoying that time together. In the beginning of the year for math, we started using Beast Academy. We were going to do levels 4 and 5, level 5 being the last level in the Beast Academy, and then that was supposed to be moving on to Art of Problem Solving, Algebra 1. And I gotta say, I'm really disappointed because we really loved Beast Academy and it was working really well for my son, but I made a whole video here as to why we switched over. Basically, he needed more of a spiral approach to learning math versus the mastery approach, which is Beast Academy. So we switched over to the Good and the Beautiful's level 5 math instead of jumping into level 6, because he hadn't learned like anything. With the Beast Academy, they teach everything so out of order that when I tested him, knowing that I wanted to switch into the Good and the Beautiful, he tested into barely level 5. So we did level 5 and it's working great. The lessons are pretty long for him, but for the most part, he's enjoying it. He's learning a lot and he's retaining all the information because they do review every single day. Okay, so for Bible, I had a completely different plan. If you want to see all my original plans, check out the video here. For Bible, we had a plan. We were going to read like a Proverbs and a Psalms a day and discuss it. We were going to do the kids answer books. We were going to do some character study. We didn't do any of that. We started off strong that first month, but then with everything changing and us getting sick and the holidays and family coming in and out, it just all fell apart. So we started doing My Brother's Keeper. What also fell apart were the relationship between my son and daughter, because they were getting on each other's last nerve. And then I found that not consumed Bible studies had My Brother's Keeper Bible study, and I said, you two need to learn how to get along, so here's your new Bible study. So it's been working well, especially today, which was really, really sweet. I had them do it together because I was super busy preparing for a trip. We're preparing for a trip for spring break, and it was really sweet to see them working together, doing the Bible study actually together. I guess it's working. We started with the Peaceful Press history, but then I felt like it wasn't enough for my son. So I was doing some research and I was digging through things, and I'm like, I really can't teach each child an individual unit, but I really liked the one history for my daughter. So I was like, he needs something that he can do on his own. So I'm searching and searching, couldn't find a darn thing until I came across these books. They're a little older, but I think they're perfect. They're A History of Us, and this is the first book. This one's from the library. I'm actually gonna go ahead and buy the whole set on Thrift Books if it's still there. But this is prehistory to the 1600s, and then it just goes all the way through. I think there's like 4 or 5 books. And this book, the chapters are really short. They're written to the child. They have a lot of fun facts. They have pictures, and he is really enjoying this. I gotta say, I was enjoying it too. The times that I do read it with him, it's fun. It makes history fun, and I'm not one that likes history, but I really like this book. So we're gonna be doing this when I find appropriate videos or projects. When I have the time to dig through Pinterest and find some fun projects, we'll do that. But I did hear that there was a companion guide for this, so I'm going to email the author again and find out more about that. We're also using History Smashers for his read out loud time right now, so it's smashing all the misconceptions about history, so he likes that. He thinks that's pretty cool. And then tying in the IEW Early American History, we're kind of like digging into history. I guess we're making up for all the time that we did not do history all of these years. We're also tossing in there here and there the big fat book of American history, everything you need to know. And when the topic comes up from this book, we'll read that book, because that book has questions and things like that. So what I want him to start doing when we get back from our spring break trip is to write a summary of each chapter in a history book. For science, I had planned to do a bunch of units. We should have been on like our 5th unit now, but we are not. We did do the motions and simple machines unit. The kids enjoyed that. And now my son, separately from my daughter, we're doing one-on-one time. We're doing the Good and the Beautiful's maturation unit study. Once we get done with that, I will join them back together and we will do probably the human body, because that's the next one that I had ordered. And I gotta say, what I really like about the Good and the Beautiful science is that there's such a variety, and they're learning so many different things from each different unit, that even when my daughter from high school comes home with a project, it's always on a subject that we already touched on. So I think that's pretty awesome that we are touching on almost every topic in science, and they're just getting that introduction to everything. Like we just did the simple machines, and they learned about Newton and gravity and Newton's laws and things like that. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I know that when they get older, they'll go more in depth about it, but hopefully they'll remember the little bits that we learned here now. For electives, he was supposed to do Talk Box Mom. I bought the Homeschool like mini pack of that, and it just didn't find that it worked out well for us. I found that because Talk Box Mom has like phrases that you're supposed to say for each thing, and getting for like whatever, like we got the Homeschool one, so like when it was time to read, they had phrases for it, or to switch subjects. I just felt like it was too all over, like there were too many phrases, and I have to like go through, sort through it and pick it. And I don't know, if I have more time, maybe I'll try it again because I did like the idea behind it. You can go to talkboxmom.com and find out more about it in detail. But I did like the conversational idea behind it. I just didn't really make time to prep it and pick the sentences and all that stuff. So it didn't work out for us right now. I also had this fantastic plan. Like, he was gonna do typing, we didn't do typing. We were gonna have like 3 semesters. One, he was gonna do a Roblox course on Outschool. He was gonna do this Go Green little course on this book that I had. And he was supposed to do a musical instrument this last like trimester. We did none of that. So I do want him, he really is interested in playing the piano, but he doesn't want like a teacher. So I'm gonna get him a keyboard and see what we can do about getting him lessons in a way that he's most comfortable. As far as the socialization part of it, we are still doing all of our co-op classes. He's loving every single one of them. We're still doing Sunday morning youth group and Wednesday, sorry, I saw something out the window, and Wednesday night youth group, and he's also doing random outings on Thursdays, and then sometimes we just get all of the boys, his age group, together to like hang out and do like a movie night and things like that. And I also had this amazing plan to have him learn how to take notes and throw in some tests so he can learn how to study, all the things that my daughter who's in high school said that she wasn't prepared for. I wanted to teach him so that just in case like he needs it ever in the future, which he will, I mean in college definitely. So far my plan is to homeschool him for high school, but you just never know. So I want him to learn how to study and take tests and take notes. And I had like all these things planned and we did not touch on any of them. And excuse my dog, I don't know what she's barking at. But I really wish that I would have remembered that I said I was going to do that, but we're going to work on that. That's going to be added to my 7th grade stuff for the future. All right, so now I just want to give you guys some tips. I've learned from my mistakes and I want to help you guys avoid making any mistakes with your upcoming homeschool year. So my first tip is to make sure to assess your week at the end of every week just to see how it's going. Are you overbooking your child's schedules? Or something they really enjoy? Are there things they're not liking so much? And just check on yourself every week and check on your lesson plan every week to make sure it's going well. But even more importantly, my second tip is that at the beginning of the homeschool year, you know you have this major plan. You have all of the things that you want to do with your child or your children. So I encourage you to write that down. And I encourage you each month to write in a calendar, a calendar that you actually look at and follow, or maybe an Alexa reminder or something, to go back and review your goals and plans for the homeschool year and make sure you are on track and adjust accordingly. Because when you lose your vision, it just becomes chaos and then you just start doing whatever, and then at the end of the homeschool year, you're making a video like me saying, oh my goodness, we did nothing. I'm just kidding, we did a lot, but we did nothing compared to what I had planned at the beginning of the homeschool year. My third tip is that when you're planning your homeschool year, do not overbook every exciting thing that you want to do. I would make like a little pile of like electives, right? And like have a little plan here, but then focus on like my core, and then when we have time or we have breaks or whatever, pull from one of those things and not like fully commit it into the schedule, because then it becomes too much. For me, it did anyway. It was just like you always want to do so much with the kids, and then they don't always want to do all of that, or sometimes things happen and you just don't get to it, then you feel guilty about it later. So like just try not to overbook your schedule, but if you have all these electives you want to do, keep them nearby and just pull them out as needed or as you're able to. I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and hopefully you guys did better than me. How did your homeschool year go? I want to know. Leave it in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.